Deputy Maker Lowry, who has 30 seconds to introduce.
Mr. Could I ask you to outline the funding allocated to organisations in County Tipperary and in other counties by her department and agencies under her aegis between the years 2014 and 2017?
Thank you, Deputy. My department operates a wide range of funding schemes in support of cultural development across Ireland, and details of the various schemes are published on my department's website. And one of the schemes to which the Deputy refers is funded by the Arts Council, which is independent in its funding decisions. The details of funding by this agency are also, however, published on its website and in its annual report and accounts, and these are published and available in the Oireachtas library for all the years sought, including 2017. And I'm pleased to inform the Deputy that the total funding of 1.54 million has been provided to County Tipperary in the period of 2014 to 2017 under the various schemes to which you refer. These include funding of 1.3 million from the Arts Council and funding of €233,855 from my department under two of the three schemes which were listed by the Deputy, I think, in your main question. For the Deputy's convenience, I've arranged to have the breakdown of funding allocated to organisations in County Tipperary by my department and the Arts Council sent directly to you. And I'm pleased to note that in relation to schemes run by my department, funding has been allocated to Tipperary County Museum for regional exhibitions, cooperation with Northern Ireland and mobility of collections. And funding has also been provided to Tipperary County Council for Culture Night. And under capital developments, my department has funded the Black Castle Theatre Company, the Source Arts Centre, the Tipperary Excel Heritage Company, the South Tipperary Arts Centre, Clough-Jordan Arts, Nina Arts Centre and COSIUS, I think that's how you pronounce it. And while organisations in Tipperary have not received funding to date in one of the schemes to which you mentioned in your written question, this particular scheme has only been in operation since 2017, and I'm looking forward to seeing future applications from Tipperary under this scheme. In budget 2019, I announced total expenditure of some 339 million towards our culture, our language and our heritage for next year. And this funding includes additional funding of over 36 million for my department in 2019, which is an increase of 12% on 2018 allocations. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Deputy. Lowry is one.
Yeah, thank you, Minister. In Tipperary and similar counties, the fact that we have been deprioritised in terms of economic development, that places a greater focus on the resources that we have to hand. And one of those resources which we are proud of in Tipperary is our heritage and environment, as they underpin the tourism industry in the county. And while the organisations and companies working in the cultural sector, they may not be as recognisable as others, but they do provide important sustainable employment in catchment areas that they operate in, as well as attracting tourists both national and international. Indeed, the quality of life and the viability of many of our small towns is dependent on the heritage and arts sector that is in place. And for that reason, the Department support and investment directly through the local authorities is absolutely vital to us. Unfortunately, funding in recent years has been limited and inadequate, and I'm glad to see that we have an increase this year in the funding in our capital budget for 2019. Could I ask the Minister to outline the additional supports that will be made available in the context of the forthcoming centenary celebrations, and how her department intends to promote those celebrations in an inclusive way to a wider audience?
Can I get Minister's 1 minute?
First of all, to confirm that the increase in funding is comprised of 21 million in capital expenditure, an increase of 39% on 2018 funding, and it's 15 million in current expenditure, which is a 6% increase. Just you mentioned heritage in Tipperary, Deputy, and you may wish to note that the Heritage Council, which is under the aegis of my department, supports a wide range of heritage projects throughout the country through its annual grants programme. I know that the County Tipperary, under the Structured Risks Fund and also under the Built Heritage investment funding in 2018-2017, received significant monies. There was monies towards the Corner House in McDonagh Square, received 17,000. There was also the Thatch in Cloneen and Clonmel, received 15,000. and under the Structures at Risk Fund in 2017 there was a total of 70,000 given. The Structure at Risk Fund for 2018 was actually 32,000. Some of the grants went to, under the Structures at Risk Fund, went to the Black Castle in Templemore, St Cronan's Church in Church Street in Rosscray, and Ardfinnan Castle in Clonmel. And in relation to commemorative events, obviously we have an all-party committee in relation to that. It's a very sensitive period that we're coming into. We have to make sure that we are inclusive and respectful of all views in order that we can properly and adequately, in a respectful way, commemorate the events that are coming up. And I'm very mindful of that, Deputy. Thank you.
Second supplementary.
An example of the type of work funded by the Tipperary Arts Council is a local group called the Thurles Phoenix Productions. And each year that group produces a cabaret performance and a full musical theatre production. The age of the cast generally ranges from 40 to 20 years of age, and to date some 400 young people from the locality have benefited from the overall life experience of the project. Participation affords the cast members a unique opportunity to gain self-confidence in a public forum on stage, and they have positive interaction with people of different age groups, different backgrounds, schools and ability. The cultural lessons of teamwork, mutual respect, application and discipline are learned, and no one is excluded, and anybody who wishes to participate is allowed to do so. So this group has produced some fantastic performances in recent years. At the moment, they're celebrating 20 years, and I would like to see the Arts Council in Tipperary, through your department, fund them, because they're finding it difficult to survive financially. Huge voluntary effort, huge commitment, and they do deserve support.
Thank you, Deputy. Sorry, I didn't catch the name of the group at the outset of your statement there, but just to say that obviously the Arts Council is independent in how it funds artists, but it does fund artists at a grassroots level. I increased the budget this year from 68 million to 75 million. There's also small-scale local festivals and summer schools. There is a scheme there, and that's reserved for appropriate festivals and groups, and the maximum funding provided is €5,000. That may well be a scheme that they may well fit into. I note that Tipperary has received no funding under the small-scale local festivals and the summer school scheme since its inception in 2017. I think that's regrettable. I think if there was only one application in 2018 for the Tipperary Peace Convention, but it was assessed as having insufficient cultural content at the time, demonstrated on the application to merit funding, but there will always be other opportunities for this group to apply, and I hope that they will be supported and nurtured in their development. Thank you.